All right, weekly market update, July 14th, 2025. So let's talk week in review. Major U.S. indexes finished the week slightly lower after the S&P 500 and NASDAQ hit record highs the week prior. S&P 500 slipped 0.29%, the NASDAQ dipped 0.07%, and Dow Jones Industrial Average declined 1.01%. Bonds, as measured by the Bloomberg U.S. Aggregate Bond Index, or the AGG, also lost ground, falling 0.37%. Silver was a standout, surging to a 14-year high as investors sought alternatives to gold. Bitcoin also made headlines, climbing roughly 9% during the week to reach an all-new high of 118,000 on Friday. Over the weekend, it extended its rally, topping to 120,000. This week could be pivotal for cryptocurrencies as lawmakers prepare to vote on several key pieces of legislation: the Clarity Act, the Genius Act, and the CBDC Act, which could shape the regulatory landscape for digital assets going forward. And the administration announced new tariffs last week on over 20 countries and extended the 90-day pause to August 1st. Let's talk upcoming economic releases. This week brings in a full slate of key economic reports offering fresh insight into inflation trends and consumer strength. On Tuesday, July 15th, the Consumer Price Index, or the CPI, will be released, providing an updated look at inflation and the consumer level. The Producer Price Index, or the PPI, follows on Wednesday, July 16th, offering a read on the wholesale of inflation. Then on Thursday, July 17th, retail sales data will shed light on consumer spending habits, followed by the Consumer Sentiment Report on Friday, July 18th. Together, these reports will give investors a clearer picture of both inflation pressures and the resilience of the U.S. consumer. Now, let's talk market outlook. All eyes this week will be on this week's CPI report, Consumer Price Index, which will reveal whether the recent trend of moderate inflation continued into June and whether higher tariffs are beginning to impact prices as a whole. The results could play a key role in shaping expectations around the Federal Reserve's next steps on interest rates cuts. And this week, major U.S. banks will kick off the second quarter earnings season, offering the first glimpse into how companies performed in Q2 2025. According to FactSet, analysts are projecting average earnings growth of roughly 4.8% for the S&P 500 companies. If that forecast holds, it would mark the slowest pace of earnings growth since Q4 of 2023. Now let's talk stocks in the news. We got two of them today. LUV, or Southwest Airlines, shares surged 9.82% last week, hitting new all-time highs ahead of upcoming earnings season. The rally was fueled by rising optimism in the airline industry and strong earnings report from rival Delta Airlines, which boosted overall sentiment across the sector. The second one is NVIDIA, or NVIDIA. NVIDIA made history last week, becoming the first publicly traded company to reach a $4 trillion market capitalization. Over the last 5 years, shares have surged 1,460%, or around 18% year to date, and 4.22% last week alone. That's your week in review. We'll see you next time.